The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. I have a beautiful in-studio guest for the first time in quite a while. She's a hairdresser in the great town of Norwood, Mass. But before I get to her, I've got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So, we got Lynch's Towing, Auto, Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. Always in search of scrap metal, anything to do with wheels that my pal Lynchy can handle over there. We got One Good Credit in Brockton. We got Comfort Upholstery in East Bridgewater. We got Countertops Express in North Attleboro, experts in the installation and the removal of quartz and granite. We got Armour Sports in Taunton. We got Cycle Pros in Bridgewater. We got Physiologist 101 Barbershop in Brockton. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got C&J Auto Body Auto Glass Towing in Stoughton. We got Chapin Sheds in Whitman. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Doggy Boutique, all beat professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next door neighbor Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We got Auto Town Auto Glass and Auto Body in Abington. We got Easton Fitness right in the village shops in Northeastern. We got RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We got the Gunrunner LLC, our Second Amendment Freedom Store in Middleborough. And we got Joe's Diner in Taunton. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now, Linda Feeney, thanks.
Oh my God, that made me feel really like, wow, you have a lot of supporters. But thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. You're a beautiful lady. I know you work as a hairdresser in Norwood.
No, Dedham. I live in Norwood.
You live in Norwood, okay.
But Dedham, actually. Total Image Day Spa.
Okay.
485 High Street.
There you go.
Been there for over 3 years.
Okay.
He's been in the business for years upon years. His name is Henry Go.
Okay.
And he literally has an outstanding salon.
Of course.
It's my third salon. I've owned a salon.
Okay.
Sold a salon. Worked in 2 other salons and then came there. Like it's.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, that's great. That's awesome. What a storied past. So obviously, to me, the art of cutting hair is not just a procedure that's done for all of us. It's an art form because you got to make people look good. And you got to do it
exactly, but you also have to enjoy what you do.
Exactly. Yes.
So when I started, I was about 14.
Wow. Okay.
But not doing hair.
You don't look much past that now.
Thank you. That's because I look like My Little Pony.
Okay.
But what's fun about it is that it's a passion.
Yep.
That's the best part about it.
Yes.
It's literally, when you enjoy going to your work and everyone you work with, that's what makes it worth it. Absolutely
right. How many people in your salon today?
Today there's about 6 of us.
Okay, wow, okay, that's a pretty big deal. And you're in Dedham, so I'm guessing you're right on the main strip, like 109 or in that neighborhood?
Yeah, right on the main strip of High Street. It's almost towards East Dedham, but when you say High Street in Dedham,
right,
most people, everyone know.
I know the area pretty good, okay.
Well, used to be actually in Dedham Plaza back in the day, and that actual location used to be a Blockbuster.
Okay, boy, that's all 20th century now.
I know.
Isn't it amazing all the years that have passed and how different things are?
Makes me want to rent a movie.
Well, you still can rent a movie, you just got to do it off Netflix. It's actually easier now than it would have been all those years ago. Well, Linda, so what I do with every person I interview is I try to profile them. In addition to what you do now, I'd like to find out about what you were like as a kid. What did you aspire to? I get the sense that you're a true blue Boston area girl. You've always liked you're proud of your heritage or whatever. And
oh, definitely.
Okay, well, let's talk about your.
Other than my father's cooking, I'm definitely proud of my heritage.
Okay.
He may be 100% Irish, but he 100% can always screw it up.
Okay. That was like my mother's cooking. I was like,
oh, good. I have to put that in my mouth today. That's great. But no, growing up, Norwoodian.
Yep, all your life.
Parents still. Mom grew up 2 houses down from my house.
Cool.
But I remember, I think the reason why I also became a hairdresser is because I got scarred at the age of about 3.5. I just got hair basically at 3. So I was a cute little boy until that certain age, right?
Okay.
Which is terrifying if you think about it, because then she gave me a haircut and it went like this and it looked like a helmet.
Wow.
And the first picture was me crying. Devastating.
Were you crying because you didn't like the way your hair looked, or because you didn't like the fact that you were just handled?
I already knew what my hair looked like. I looked like I had a helmet on. I was like, what is this? Why,
Okay.
who tortures a child in 3? And I'm like, little white fluffies. And, oh, Jesus.
Wow.
So, of course, as I got older, my cousin, well, she's my godmother. She was a hairdresser.
Yep.
And she'd always do my hair, do fun things like that, all that fun stuff. And I loved how she made people feel so good.
Okay.
That was my favorite part.
Got
because
it.
every time they got out of the chair, and I'd be sitting there as a kid, and they'd be like, oh my God, thank you, and like so happy about it. Like, so that's what enthused me. I'm like, oh wait, so I can create beauty and make people feel good about it.
Okay, that's absolutely right.
So I remember when in 5th grade, they told me, where do you think you're gonna be in 20 some odd years? I said, I'm gonna be a hairdresser.
Wow.
I only got 2 other things wrong. I am not living in Beverly Hills with 2 children as well. But I did say I got the hairdresser part.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Well, that's great
So-
though. And what did you want to be? Well, okay. Well, that doesn't
Since
mean.
5th grade, that was literally it's in my school book when you say, where do you think you're gonna be?
Well, that was your high school yearbook or your 5th grade
No,
yearbook?
5th.
5th grade. Got it.
High school was the same thing, just not Beverly Hills.
Right,
nor
just
was
not
it
Beverly.
2
All right,
children.
so because I read you right. I said you were happy, you're a proud person of being from the Boston area, and that's why you're not in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, right.
Well,
You're telling
that's
me.
one way of looking at it, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's too expensive to be out there to be a
Have you
hairdresser.
ever done anything in entertainment like modeling, music, dancing?
The only thing I've ever done was stand up in between, which is usually an introducer in between of
Stand up, that's great.
well, it's kind of like so before the other people come in to their set and they're setting up.
Yeah?
Some people just don't want to sit there and just like listen to background noise. Sometimes you actually want to introduce yourself to a crowd,
Okay.
talk to them,
Yeah.
bring them into something, and then you just
If you've done
Step
stand up,
away.
but it's stand-up comedy, right?
like it's mediocre. It's not like it's a big stand-up. It's basically integers of little small things.
Well,
It's
did you do it
nothing
like in
that-
an open mic setting, or did you?
Yeah, open
Okay.
mic night. But so it's when they set up and somebody comes up, I say a few things, I do whatever it is, I introduce whatever goes on. But I have no problem with that.
Right.
Introducing myself as a person and being with someone else
Yeah,
doesn't really matter to me,
okay.
to be honest. I'm probably very personal. Like
You are, I can tell.
I could always probably talk to somebody even at a grocery store.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I bet everybody knows you. I mean, when people see you in town or whatever, they're like, "Hey, Linda, how you doing?"
Yeah, and I'm over here. I'm like, is that paint drying? I'm gonna go talk to it and just make sure it finishes its job.
There you go.
It's terrifying, but it's great.
I
I
like-
talk to anyone.
I
Doesn't
noticed you
matter.
use the word terrifying a lot. Is that exaggerated, or are you really?
I'm always exaggerated. If
Okay.
you think about it.
I'm just wondering. Are you?
I mean, look at my hair color.
It's
Is it
It's pretty.
right?
Well, it's pretty. I mean, you got the kind of like the old time. It kind of looks like a little cotton candy mixed in with.
I'm waiting for you to. I just want to hear
No,
what you
no,
have to say about it.
no. I like that though. I mean,
Really? Because I was at Roach
but-
Brothers, and one old lady went,
So she was really terrified.
but she got away from the Doritos, so I was like, thank you. Like I was like, all right, thank you. It's how everyone takes other things when it comes down to hair.
Right.
So if you think about it, the court system, do not judge someone by their character.
That's right. You don't. You gotta be intuitive.
But
That's
what are you using? First things what you do is you see someone.
right.
So you're still judging them inevitably.
That's absolutely right. We judge
So I'm
judge
like,
people all
that's
the
an
time.
interesting. So everyone, close your eyes. And go to court and be like, okay, I can't judge you by seeing you, because if you think about it,
Right. It's right. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
you can hear them and they can speak, but you have to take it for their not accountability on the visual.
It is amazing though. We actually are judging every people constantly. We have no even and the judgments change too every now and then. You could go from loving someone to hating them in one fell swoop. I know that. I've been there before.
Yeah.
And then the opposite applies as well. It all kind of like I know it's like we live our lives like kind of like wound up to what can somebody do for us. I know that's kind of a sad truth, but we got to make light of it because it's kind of the way things are.
Yeah,
I'm
but unless you're blind.
Unless you're,
Unless you're blind.
well, no,
then
I mean,
you're
right. Well, if you're blind, then that's one less sense, but you're still having to deal with everybody, you know, in your environment. Well,
That's
tell me
true.
what it's like to, you know, when you're doing your work during the day, you're cutting hair and stuff. What's the gossip like in there? I assume when you get 6 people working there, there's a lot of talk that goes back and forth.
Oh, well, there is a lot of talk.
You find
of
it
course.
fascinating?
Well, yeah, but the best part, the only thing I actually find extremely fascinating, so a lot of salons that I've been to and worked at, so let's say you need help with a color formulation.
Right.
I can walk up to anyone in that salon and trust them, and they know that if I'm like, hey, I'm looking at this, I need help with that, they will help me inevitably. They're perfect with that.
Okay.
It's a very hard find to see people actually working together in such a manner. The other things that I find is quite difficult. It's if clients of 2 different worlds, let's just say,
Yeah.
but they're kind of really near each other. Their collaboration on things.
Exactly.
How do you separate them? When it's probably the number one thing we do not talk about is politics and religion. Those are ex-nay on the essay. And just throw 'em on
Interesting.
that.
So you basically, it's not that it's not allowed, it's just that why create a
But
conflict where there was none before?
Because, by the way, I don't need altercations or anything weird. That's why we just don't talk about it. If we do, I'm like, that's good for you. Great. I'm going to change the subject. How is your niece? How is your nephew? What is going on? Because
Smart.
every single person that I know that comes to my salon, I know something personal about that.
That's right, yeah.
They
That's
sit
right.
in my chair for a reason
Yep,
because they're there for themselves.
Yep.
And then they need to vent to me.
yeah.
I probably know really bad secrets. I probably even know Whitey Bulger's ex-wife. No, just kidding.
Well, okay.
But but there are things that they get to tell you, and you get to respond correctly.
Like a bartender, except you're spraying them, you're spraying them on the top of the head instead of
Oh,
down
I'm
the lip,
painting
down the mouth.
them, torturing them, drowning them in the sink
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this, you know.
And you're
like-
making them look good.
Oh yeah, and then they feel beautiful after, and they get things off their chest that need to talk about, and that's kind of the entire beneficial.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you have it. I mean, basically, your whole work is like relating to people and making them and working.
You have to love your job for this
artistic-
reason.
yeah, absolutely.
Because loving your job and knowing that you do love it,
Yeah.
and the people that you work with as well, what more atmosphere could I possibly want? I don't care if I have to make $1 million if I know that every day I get to look forward to what I do for a living.
Exactly. And you know, and these people, and they're
I
your,
don't wanna be
They're
miserable.
your second family. So, did you ever go to college for anything, or just hairdressing school or anything
No,
like that?
I wanted to go to actual, like,
Listen, you have plenty of time to do it if you ever want to, I
yeah,
would think.
sure, I'm gonna go there.
Well, I mean, where did you say you wanted to go?
To the moon?
Okay. Well,
Is that
listen,
a
people are
college?
going there too. They're sending out they're sending people to the moon.
Yeah, for like, what, $1 million? Okay, ask Ernie Bach next week.
Okay. do you have,
Along with a Lambo.
do you have a big fan? You were telling me when we talked on the phone, you were telling me that your ex-boyfriend or your man or in your life had like some kind of you carved some kind of something in his head that was interesting, but I can't remember.
It
what-
would be called a dick.
Yeah, okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah, because I said
that's
he's a
right.
dickhead.
Right. Okay,
And he's gonna probably watch this.
okay, but you're amicable with
Yeah, I
that.
did. But it was very creative, actually.
Yeah, I think it
I'm
is.
not gonna lie, it was very good.
I mean, so that is artwork in and of itself, even though it's a little bit off the cuff, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Not really. I mean, I've done other designs. I've done not that, but that was.
I'm
just
sure.
for
Yeah, that was a big one. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a big family now? Do you have kids or anything, or just I'm just curious about.
No kids. I got a cat.
Oh, me too. I had I had 2. They're gone now.
Yeah, but no, he's still there. He still tortures me every single.
Oh, I
morning.
know they are, but they are. Isn't it great though having animal pets? Are great.
Pets are great.
They're your family.
But I don't know.
Well,
He's
well,
like, he stabs.
You can
me
vent to
every
your
morning.
cat like your customers vent to you, and they'll always listen.
If you only seen the reel that I made, technically I have hair extensions in,
Okay.
but they're in a different format. So
Right.
imagine making a sandwich.
Okay.
You put one side up, flip it over, hair sticks to it, plaster it over that way, lays it down, right?
Like a chef kind of.
Sure, yeah, I'm
Yep.
a chef for hair.
Right.
Head chef. No, it's kind of funny because when I was taking them out, my cat was messing around with them, and I stuck one to his forehead. And if you've seen the reel on it, and the cat going like this, and some lady was literally like commented in a different language, being like, "How dare you, animal abuse?" And I'm like, first of all, it fell off right after. It's just it's not even taped to his head like it would be to mine. It's just like, so he'd panic like this, which was super cute. But I'm like, ooh, look at social media, back at it again, trying to bite the bullet again on that. Why would I do that to my cat? I love my cat.
Yeah.
If anything, he eats like basically half my straws and drinks out of my water. God forbid it's not a seal top.
How old is he?
He's 5.
Okay, that's great. Well, yeah, people are, well, what, some woman came to your house and thought you were being...
No, like on a comment, like, in a different language.
I see what you're saying.
And I was like, and then I had to translate. I was like, ooh, what does that say?
Okay, yeah, I know. I've done silly things with the cats too. My cat would love music, and I would turn this, the video on, then I'd sort of pull it around by the tail, and she loved it, to the song. Cats love music. Do you play music for him?
He actually likes Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Don't know why. I think he tries to beat the crap out of it.
Because cats like to paw other animals.
He's like over here, like, what is that? I was like, don't eat the TV. I just got the stand set up, and he's like, real quick. Like I'm like, oh God, like terrifying cat.
I know the hedgehog. I know that hedgehog movie. That's
Oh
pretty
God,
good.
believe me. I was actually Sonic the Hedgehog one Halloween. So.
Okay. Well, so what's up? Are you still doing stand-up anywhere? Have you gone any open
No, I
mics?
just do. It's like a one thing that I've done just here and there. I don't really go out and do it like that.
I see. Right.
Like
okay.
they're just small introductions of random stuff.
Right. I understand.
You actually have to look at your crowd and then evaluate and be like, cool, is that thing underage? What time is it? All right. Only a certain few things you can say.
Oh, I understand.
But it's only while the next people come up, and then you just come down.
Wow.
It's also introductions. That's it.
Okay. Do you like do you have any entertainers?
I'll probably be there tonight, actually.
Where is it?
Right now, probably it's going to be, they said, the Walpole Napertandies.
Okay. Is that on Route 1 or Route 1A?
Yeah, that's literally in Walpole. That's.
You gonna talk about your experience in my show? I hope so.
Yeah, sure. I mean, come on down. I mean, you guys, come on down. It'll be great. I'm the person that only just comes in between.
Okay, but the in-between, but sometimes the in-between can actually have more influence than the regulars.
Well, it's just because all they hear is background music in between.
Okay, but hearing you talk
But I
is
do
better.
have to give my friend a shout out. His name is Tasso, and he's the one who helped produce his DJ friend.
Okay, so you are sort of involved in that. Well,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay.
It's because he also posted it for me as well.
Okay, yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
Tasso, get it. I had to do it.
that's awesome. Okay. Have you ever modeled before? You look like you could.
I could have.
You still could.
Yeah, sure. They elongated me and put another Snapchat filter on everything. I'm like,
Have you ever? I was thinking for your salon, maybe you might want to consider creating a brochure with.
Well, no. If you actually check out our website,
Yeah,
we have a website and everything else.
Yep.
But it's more like not about us. It's more about what we create.
Right.
And how every person styles for each and every single individual hairstyle. We have there's just so many hairstyles that you could not even imagine.
I know.
So even dudes with if somebody comes in with one more mullet request though, please don't. Go to Danielle. That's right, Danielle.
She's the specialist for she's the mullet
I'm
specialist.
like, that's right, Danielle. You're the mullet girl now.
The mullet girl.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, as I was driving home and pulling into my driveway, there were these two kids. I assume they were brothers, and they each had a big frizz ball of hair on them. It was unbelievable. They couldn't have been more
Walking
than.
Q-tips?
No, they were riding bikes, and they were just passing my driveway, and I thought, wow, I wonder if their hair was naturally like that or if somebody styled it. But I'm guessing that.
Well, it's either A, natural, B, they play with electricity, C, who knows?
They look like porcupines, like Larry the Three Stooges, except they were.
Yeah. So it's like Mo, Larry, and then
Curly.
Curly went somewhere else, probably to the right.
Right. No, it was interesting to see that. I thought, and in a way, I kind of thought of you because I thought, I wonder if she cut their hair.
What? Okay, listen. I'm like over here, excuse me. No.
No, but that was in Brockton, so how far and wide do your customers come? I'm mostly just from Norwood.
No, New Hampshire.
Wow.
From the Cape.
That's a long trip coming from New Hampshire. That's from the Cape. Wow. You got a pretty big thing going over there. I'm glad I found you. That's great.
It's just, I have a wide variety, but I also do a lot of things with like clients that are also in need. Hospice.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah.
And
you visit them, or you have
oh
to?
no, I have to go to them.
You have to go to them. They can't. They're not
people
good
in
enough.
oxygen,
Right.
just people, anyone in need,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
the elderly. Which, by the way, I do have to see her tomorrow, and she's coming to my house. And
Wow.
I don't think she should be still driving because
What are you in her 80s, maybe?
I think she's just. I tried moving in a car last time, and she parked it wrong, and I went into her car, and I actually hit the ceiling because she's sitting on 2 pillows.
Oh.
So I was like, oh my God, why is she still driving? And I was like, okay, all right, is there a way to?
Maybe you could
in
pick
the
her
car?
up. Just a thought.
That's what I thought because but she's a walker.
Yeah.
She's crazy, but good way. She
course.
loves to walk. Her and her dog, they both walk.
Okay.
But
So
I've caught
obviously
her
head's
like
clear
on
if
the
she can do
opposite
that.
side of Norwood almost. And I pulled over and I was like, "Are you sure you don't need a ride?" Like I'm like kind of like trying to be like, "Do you forget where you're going?"
Wow.
So I'm like, "Are you sure? Because if I have to call the cops and you go missing, I'll come get you." Like, but then I have like cerebral palsy. Like everyone that I go to, I
Wow.
will, no matter what, I will show up.
Yeah. You're very charitable. I can see that.
I know, and they're like over here. I'm like, who's ready to drown today with their nice retouch?
Wow.
And they're like over here, like, and 40 towels later, Linda goes through. But what
How are
to
you?
do-
How are you with perm? I mean, just wondering.
I don't do perms, especially traveling. It's not sensible. It's not easy. It's never gonna happen.
Okay. And
Can't
it's-
do perms traveling because I don't have a sink to go back because you cannot put that chemical near someone's forward or their
Yeah, I guess
face.
you can. It's pretty strong stuff.
It also smells like elongated fart.
I know it does. Tell me about it.
Continuous.
See, that's something you don't want someone with that in someone's house. But now, is it all female clients or males too, guys too?
Both.
And little kids as well?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's great. I'm just thinking because some people would prefer. Now, some people that that work in a salon say we're stylists, we're not barbers, and there's a difference. And there is a difference, I guess. I mean, I've gone to both, and I mean, I'm happy. I have a barber right here in Easton that I go to, and he, by the way, he's had people in the shop talk politics, and they did an article in the local paper about it. It's always kind of cool when you get written up like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But you see, we don't talk about certain things like that because we try to.
Yeah, I know. You don't want dissension.
I mean, it still can work.
Yeah.
If they do, depending on who's.
It's just like anyone in my show. If they want to talk politics, I'll be happy to talk. I'll be happy to. I'll always respectfully agree to disagree. If I have an opinion that's different than someone else's that I'm talking to, I don't have a problem with that.
I say, speaking of ticks, has anybody else seen the ticks that actually came out? It was actually at the car wash, and then I derived the conversation
Okay.
because of the warm weather. So you just take that aptitude of what started there, and then you end it with something else, and then you start something new.
That is truly an art form, the art of conversation.
Yeah.
And steering it in a different direction if it feels like it's going in the bad one.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do. That's something I've been working on for years. Because I have autism, and I've spent my life alienating people. I'm pretty good at it. So so when I come in here or here at my other TV stations to do my show, I gotta sweep that all under the rug and not alienate anybody, or I'm out of they're gonna throw me out. So I can't.
You throw me out.
Yeah, I mean that could happen. I've been thrown out of places.
Then
before.
just take like a rag and be like, oh, it's called put it in the.
I know. Well, that's what I've I've
Throw
done
it in the bag, right?
So I'm
there.
saying, for me, the show is like an exercise in social growth that I never had before. It's totally, it's huge. It's something I've been
Watch, if you sit in my salon, you're like, what is happening in here? I'm like, exactly. Welcome to the land of Jurassic hair.
Jurassic. So people come in and ask to be shaped like, have their hair cut like dinosaurs. Is that it?
Oh, definitely.
Wow.
You have no idea.
No.
I do have a couple living dinosaurs. They actually come in very slowly, though.
Like the Simpsons, right?
They just they're coming in. I'm like, oh God.
Remember little Maggie Simpson, the one with the hair when she suckled in her rattle. She never talked. Yeah, that's something like that.
Yeah, sure.
The
That's
Simpsons.
true. It does have that dinosaur effect, though, if you think about it.
I do. I know.
Bro, if they come back to that hairstyle, I'll die. No.
That's true. Okay.
Don't. I know where your reference went to that. Now I'm thinking about it. Don't bring it back. Just like the mullets. They all came back, but then also remember, everyone wanted gray hair, and it's like, can't you wait like 30 years or something? Like, what's your problem? They all wanted gray hair. Then you got him gray hair. Then all of a sudden it's like, I want a mullet. I'm like, oh God. Like, all right. So everything, even from our past, comes back to our future.
It does. You're right. Boy, you're very intuitive about stuff.
I'm like, oh God, now what's next?
Yeah. Well, guess what, Linda? We're down to the final 5 minutes. And I'm thinking you ought to write
That's not fair.
You should write a book. Have you ever written anything? Just curious.
Ooh, no, I'm really bad at spelling. Do not ask my coworkers on how I pronounce names sometimes.
I have 2 words for you, ghostwriter.
I had 2 words for you.
Uh-oh, all right, you don't have to,
Don't
I
do
get
it.
it, I get it. You can flip me off under the table if you want, just kidding.
That's what he said. Thank you.
All right, well, I hope you had fun with me.
Of course, actually, you know I'm going to come back.
Oh, good, well, there you go. Well, so I want, like I said at the beginning, I want you to look at the camera there and just give shouts out to people, a few, and then we'll wrap
Okay,
this up.
fine. All right, so shout out to Clearly the Total Image. Hopefully you guys know the truth. And Danielle, yes, those mullets are yours. If you do plan on getting a haircut, please check us out on our Instagram and our Facebook, Total Image. We're in Dedham, please.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, sure. And I'll give a shout out to my mom and dad, because I guess
Not your
I
cat?
wouldn't be here. Oh, no.
Your cat will watch the show.
What do you mean? He's going to scratch me later.
Yeah, but they do it out of affection,
Right.
usually.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I cut people for a living.
Exactly, okay. She's a cutter, folks.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, now we are gonna snap at the end, and it'll be good. Please don't bang the desk. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up, and this time I'll hit the stop button right. I'll get it right this time, because I have to be looking at it. I was looking at it from a bad angle. This time I'm looking at it from the right angle. All right, see you next time. We got a great show next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Signing off.
I can't.